Today, our topic is the Stoic way to build grit and resilience. Life is full of challenges, and no one is immune to difficulties. Whether it's a personal loss, a failure at work, or a sudden change in circumstances, we all face moments that test our strength and character. The question is not whether we will face hard times, but how we will respond to them. This is where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism can guide us. Stoicism teaches us how to build grit and resilience, two qualities that help us endure and overcome life's toughest moments. Grit is the ability to keep going even when things get hard, and resilience is the capacity to bounce back after setbacks. Together, they form the foundation of a strong and steady life. Stoicism is a philosophy that began in ancient Greece and was later developed by Roman thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. At its core, Stoicism is about understanding what is within our control and what is not. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This idea is powerful because it shifts our focus from external events to our internal mindset. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and instead focus on our own thoughts and actions, we gain a sense of inner peace and strength. So, how can we apply Stoic principles to build grit and resilience? The first step is to accept that life is unpredictable. The Stoics call this the concept of Amor fati, which means love of fate. Instead of resisting or complaining about what happens to us, we should learn to accept it, even embrace it. This doesn't mean we have to like every bad thing that happens, but we can choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth. For example, if you lose your job, instead of feeling defeated, you can view it as a chance to explore new career paths or develop new skills. By accepting what happens, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open the door to resilience. Another important Stoic principle is to focus on what we can control. The Stoics divided life into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. We cannot control the weather, other people's opinions, or the past. But we can control our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. When we focus on what we can control, we feel empowered. Instead of wasting energy on things outside our control, we direct our efforts toward areas where we can make a difference. For instance, if you're worried about an upcoming presentation, you can't control whether your audience will like it. But you can control how well you prepare. By focusing on preparation, you build confidence and reduce anxiety. Stoicism also teaches us to practice negative visualization. This might sound strange, but it's a powerful tool for building resilience. Negative visualization involves imagining the worst-case scenario and reflecting on how you would handle it. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, imagine yourself forgetting your speech or being laughed at by the audience. Then, think about how you would respond. Would you give up, or would you keep going? By facing your fears in your mind, you become better prepared to face them in real life. This exercise helps you realize that even the worst outcomes are manageable, and it builds mental toughness. Another key Stoic practice is to embrace discomfort. The Stoics believe that comfort is the enemy of growth. When we avoid discomfort, we become weak and dependent on easy circumstances. But when we willingly face challenges, we become stronger and more resilient. This is why many Stoics practiced voluntary hardship. For example, they might choose to sleep on the floor, eat simple food, or wear plain clothing. These practices remind us that we don't need luxury to be happy, and that we can endure tough conditions. In modern life, you don't have to go to such extremes, but you can still embrace discomfort by taking cold showers, exercising regularly, or tackling difficult tasks. Each time you push through discomfort, you build grit. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of perspective. How we see a situation determines how we feel about it. For example, losing a job can feel like a disaster, but it can also be seen as an opportunity for a fresh start. The Stoics believe that we have the power to choose our perspective. By reframing challenges in a positive light, we can turn obstacles into stepping stones. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine. It means looking for the silver lining and finding meaning in adversity. When you face a setback, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can this make me stronger? By shifting your perspective, you build resilience and find hope in difficult times. Another Stoic practice is to focus on virtue. The Stoics believe that the highest good is living a virtuous life. Virtue includes qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. When we strive to live virtuously, we align ourselves with what truly matters. External things like money, fame, and success are fleeting, but virtue is lasting. By focusing on being a good person, rather than accumulating material wealth, we find deeper satisfaction and purpose. This focus on virtue also helps us stay grounded during tough times. When we face challenges, we can ask ourselves, what would a wise and courageous person do? This question guides us toward the right actions and helps us build grit. Stoicism also teaches us to detach from outcomes. The Stoics believe that we should do our best in every situation, but not be attached to the results. For example, if you're working on a project, focus on doing your best work rather than worrying about whether it will succeed or fail. This detachment reduces anxiety and allows us to act with clarity and confidence. It also helps us handle failure with grace. If things don't go as planned, we can remind ourselves that we did our best and that the outcome was beyond our control. This mindset fosters resilience and prevents us from being knocked down by setbacks. Finally, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negativity and despair. When we focus on what we have, rather than what we lack, we feel more content and resilient. The Stoics practiced gratitude by reflecting on the good things in their lives, no matter how small. For example, they might be grateful for their health, their friends, or even the opportunity to face a challenge. By practicing gratitude, we train our minds to see the good in every situation, even the difficult ones. This positive outlook strengthens our resilience and helps us keep going when times are tough. Building grit and resilience is not easy, but it is possible. By following Stoic principles, we can develop the inner strength needed to face life's challenges with courage and grace. Accept what happens, focus on what you can control, embrace discomfort, shift your perspective, live virtuously, detach from outcomes, and practice gratitude. These practices will help you build a strong and steady foundation for your life. Remember, it's not about avoiding difficulties, but about growing through them. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember these Stoic lessons and let them guide you toward grit, resilience, and a life well lived.